Hey everyone, Kevin here. I want to go over in this video how we found really great talent on Upwork over the years. And I'm going to be going over two different sets of job postings that have successfully found me some really great developers. So for this first one here, I was looking for somebody who was going to be working on Group Ghost. And Group Ghost is a really simple, well, actually, it turned out not to be so simple. Google Chrome extension that collected answers from questions on Facebook group member requests. So if you have a Facebook group, somebody could answer some of your questions. You could ask up to 3 questions before somebody joins the group, and we would automatically collect those questions. So it was really important for us because we were asking for emails. People were giving us emails. You can also collect phone numbers, anything like that, and the extension would automatically collect those instead of us having to manually copy and paste. And that would go into a spreadsheet, and now it also goes into Zapier and MailChimp. And we're successfully selling that for 19 bucks a month. So this is the job posting for that. The price that I put up here was $1,500. I figured kind of that was going to be about my budget, with designs and everything, probably $2,500 to $3,000, including, this is just the $1,500 just to kind of get it up and going, but you're going to probably have to spend a little bit more money, maybe on any improvements or anything like that. So I figured, something that's going to be $19 a month. I didn't know how many people were going to sign up for it. That was about my my budget. So when it comes to creating the actual job posting, a couple of really important things. Obviously, the most important is your title. If you don't have a title that is going to cause a little bit of like curiosity or something, people aren't going to click on it. So it has to be really interesting. I could have probably done a little bit better job myself here on this, but if you have a project that's fully funded, I would include that. If you have previous success before, I would include that. I actually included here in the job posting that I've sold multiple SaaS companies before. So yeah, I'm basically with this title just looking to get somebody to click on the actual job, and hopefully this is enough of a high price where people are going to be able to fulfill it. So I typically like to do fixed price just so I know my actual costs going in. And then later on, after I like the developer, then we can work on like an hourly basis or something like that. But typically when I'm going into a web development project, I like to know what my fixed costs are going to be before I actually do them. So that's why I use fixed costs. So yeah, I also here, basically it's kind of just a general overview what I'm looking to create a SaaS product, so that they know I need probably most likely a Stripe integration as well and all these other things. And I also included a video going into exact detail, exactly what I was looking to do. I was a little bit open in this with the way in which to go about solving the issue, but with this video I'm basically saying, look, this is what I do right now. I'm copying and pasting these into a spreadsheet. I need a way to automatically do this. So I didn't know at the time it was going to be a Google Chrome extension. I just looking for the solution. And so yeah, I like to have it open a little bit if I don't really know, so that multiple developers can tell me different things. And I've actually had on this job posting, I had 2 developers. One of them tell me that the first one was a bad idea. It wasn't going to work because of some Facebook like credential issue that they didn't even know about. So I didn't end up hiring that first developer because he wasn't completely knowledgeable. So that's why I kind of like to be a little bit open into how we're going to be solving what we're trying to solve. So another thing too, I usually don't ask for cover letters, but I do like to ask questions, just as like, have you done this type of project before? What's your experience? Or kind of just really specific. I don't like to ask too many questions because I'm going to be archiving a lot of people based off of their Upwork experience anyways. So I kind of just don't want to waste their time asking all of these questions. So I'm just looking for like one basic question. And the other point that I'd like to ask at least one thing is because a lot of people on Upwork are going to be copying and pasting especially when it comes to like cover letters as well. So that's why sometimes I'll include cover letter. And I like to just archive all those people that are obviously copying and pasting and haven't read my specific job posting. Because if they're not going to be taking the time to actually respond to your job posting correctly, just imagine how well they're going to do after you've started paying them. So I always like to make sure that I have at least something there, but I don't like to waste people's time, so I don't like to have too much. And that's why I don't have like a humongous job posting. I like to keep it really simple and just get the ball rolling. One more thing too. This is another big thing. I like to make these job postings usually on the weekends. And I've actually had really good success posting on Saturdays and Sundays. And another reason is just because those are kind of like when the people who are really hustling are looking for jobs. And if they're going to be responding to my job posts on Saturdays and Sundays, I know when I need to rely on them after the project is complete, maybe there's a bug or issue, something on a Saturday or Sunday, that they're going to have a higher probability of being around and being available to help me out. So I just kind of like doing that as well, and not waiting just on Monday. Okay, so I made this job posting here, and these are some of the people who responded to this job post. And then just really quickly, some of the things I'm looking for while I'm shortlisting candidates, which is basically approving them or archiving them, which is, there's just no way I'm going to hire this person. So the first thing is going to be, I'll usually scroll down, and anybody who's like brand new to Upwork or very obviously hasn't taken the time to read the job posting, I'm just archiving right away. It does kind of suck, and if it's a simple project like which I'll show you next, I don't necessarily care if they're brand new to Upwork. But I've had issues in the past where there's been, it seems, developers who have more than likely had really bad reviews on Upwork, and then what they do is they just create a new account. So that's why I'm always wary of people who are brand new to Upwork. But of course, if it's a simpler project, then I don't really mind so much, because those people need to start on Upwork anyways. So and if it's a simple project, which I'll show you again, I usually hire multiple people for the same job anyways. So basically what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for how much they've earned. I'm looking for their are they within my price range? If they're way above my price range, then I'll just go ahead and archive them. What's their job success like? And then one of the other main things that I'm looking for is, this is probably the main thing that I'm looking for, is how well are they writing in English. And one of the reasons why I care about this is most code, as far as all of that I know of, is written in English. And so if they have really bad English and they have a lot of spelling mistakes, then I know that they're probably not going to be a very competent coder. And so I really like it when they're from a different country that's not an English-speaking country, and their English is impeccable. I've always had good success with those developers. Every time that I can remember. So that's one of the top things that I'm looking for. And what I'll usually do is I'll shortlist a whole bunch of them, and after maybe anywhere between 2 to 7 or so that I've shortlisted, I just go ahead and start messaging them. And one of the things that I like are people who message me back right away. And if somebody messages me back the next day or something like that, probably not going to hire them. I want somebody that's going to be available all the time and responds really quickly. I'm huge on communication. So if I'm like, hey, do you have Skype? Here's my Skype. And they add me right away on Skype, and they're ready to go. I like that. It's a good sign that they're going to be very communicative going forward. So yeah, looking for that specifically. So that's about it for this particular job posting. Those are the things that I'm looking for right off the bat to kind of start separating these people from people who I might want to work with and people who I don't. So this other job posting here was a very simple one. I'm basically just looking for an HTML developer to take a PSD, which is a design file, and code it into an HTML responsive email. And my price is $15 for each one of these. And because this is simple, what this allows me to do is hire like 4 people. So I'll hire 4 people, and what I'll do is compare their projects, so how well their HTML email was done, and then from there, I might just hire the first one or end the contracts for the other ones, or depending on how well it goes. So this is for my company Yat Emails, which is an email marketing agency, and I just posted a job here. Sorry, scroll up. We're looking for somebody that can create responsive HTML code based off of our PSDs. How many of these we need. The reason why I'm saying how many is because it's a low price. So I want to make sure that there's going to be a whole bunch of these as well. And of course, must be responsive, pixel perfect. So they're going to look exactly like how the PSDs look. And another thing that's always helping me with all of these is that my reviews are pretty good. So I have 37 5-star reviews, 53% higher rate, and spent over $30,000 on Upwork. So they know that if I didn't have this and if I was brand new to Upwork, you're probably not going to get a huge response. But they know people have worked with me before, and I'm somewhat easy to work with. So I'm also much more likely to get people to respond to my job postings now because I do have this type of rating on Upwork. So that's why it helps to always stick with Upwork instead of trying different platforms, because I do have this rating on here, and it really just helps me get really high quality developers. So just going through here really quickly, these are some of the people that I got. And if somebody's requesting 150 or something that's way above the budget, I'm just going to archive them because it just doesn't make sense. We're not going to get to a point where it makes sense. So again, what I'm looking for, people who have some experience on Upwork. Somebody who has 70% job success, I might not hire because that's really low. So I'm just looking for the best here, the best out of 2 to 7 or so people, and I'm going to go ahead and start messaging them, see how well and quickly they are responding to me. And through Skype messages, I'm also gauging how well their English is, and just asking them some of these general questions. Have they done this before? Can I see some examples? And because this is only I'm basically hiring them to do emails for like $15. I can hire a whole bunch of people, 3, 4, 5, and then just hire the best ones. And what I did on this job was I hired, I believe, 3 people, and I kept 2 of them on, and the other one didn't really do that great of a job, so I just didn't use his emails, and I just ended the contract with him. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as hiring on Upwork in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please let me know. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments if you have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like me to go over in more details. That would be great. Thanks for watching.